Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro Bodybuilder, talking to you about the UFC. TJ Dillashaw, he failed a drug test for PEDs, probably steroids. He's banned for a year. He got fined. He is the 135 champion, and he had recently cut to 125 to try to make it a two-belt champ type thing. 125 pounds. That's so scrawny. But yeah, he would kick my ass and most of us. But anyway, yeah, he failed. Is that shocking? Zero shocking. You think the UFC are filled with all these natty guys? No. It's at least half steroids. It's just full of steroid users. You know, they're getting beat up and they have to recover. Plus, they weren't really testing that happened a few years back. And so people got used to taking performance-enhancing drugs. And when you get used to a drug and you learn to fight or perform on that drug and you take it away, it is very hard to do that and do it natural after being enhanced. When you're natural all the time, you don't know what it feels like to be Superman. When you go from Superman to normal man, it feels like shit. I'm telling you, it really does. So it's very addictive in that sense. So if you are using drugs for the first time, be careful, because you may not just, you think you're just going to use it for 3 months and stuff, but you're not. You're going to want to keep doing it over and over again. So he's banned for a year. Does it really affect him that much? I mean, he's going to come back and make a big fight, and it's not going to matter. Look at Brock Lesnar. Do you think he cares? He fails a drug test. He come back. Everyone still wants to fight, and they still pay him millions of dollars. You know, it happens all the time. Look at the John Jones T-ball. It's happening. So what I really think is happening is the guys are not realizing that drug testing is being advanced and much more specific. They are testing metabolites for steroids that are not actually the steroid itself. So, for example, several years ago, you would fail T-ball maybe for 3 weeks, and it's out of your system, okay? And you'd pass. So if you took T-ball for 11 months straight, and you stop for a month and do a drug test, you're going to pass the test. So people would cheat by taking it for like most of the time, okay? Now, the metabolites are then detectable for months and possibly years later. These metabolites are often stored in body fat. And so it's shed out, or it's released, you know, in different time periods. For example, when you cut from 140 pounds to 125 through massive cardio, dehydration, and just not eating, and you're like half on your deathbed to make a weight class, things can get released, and you can fail for that. And it's like, you didn't expect it because, well, last time I passed, I took the T-ball and passed, so why did I fail? It's because the tests are better. So be careful. Don't do drugs and expect to pass a drug test anymore, okay? It's not going to work like that. You just can't, okay? Too risky, not worth it. But the UFC, they have a huge drug problem because the consequences are nothing. It's like, who cares? It would be like getting caught cheating on an exam, and then if you're caught, the teacher takes off 1 point off your test. Oh, I only got 94 instead of 95. Well, I guess I better not cheat. Who cares? Like John Jones, he got suspended and he comes back in months later. It's not even a year's sentence. Ban them for 2 years, at a minimum 2 years. This is crazy. The 1 year bans. It's like, who cares? 1 year. Half the guys in the UFC only want to fight once a year in the first place because you get beat in the face, you get broken bones, and punch your wrists are damaged. You want to recover. Oh, a year off. Oh, that's so bad to my career. I get to relax for a few months, then go back to camp, fight, and be 100% fresh and come back in a year. And they're still going to give him a fight because everyone wants to see former champion stripped of title against this guy. He's the heel, he's the asshole, and he gets to fight the good guy. It's like the wrestling when you had Hulk Hogan was good and Andre the Giant was bad and let's fight. It's like it gives a good story to the UFC. They don't care. There's so many superstars. They're just, and look how many guys at the titles that are losing. I mean, compared to other sports, baseball, we get maybe a couple guys, maybe 1 in 100 failing. They're not usually like super amazing. You know, you might get one once in a while, but it's not like so many of them. In the UFC, it seems like all the good guys seem to be failing. It's crazy. There's so many of them. So anyway, there's my rant on this. I'd love to find out exactly what he failed so that I could really give a good analysis of that. And you guarantee if it's a SARM, sales of that SARM are tripling. Like, imagine if he's taken S23, or if it was Osterine, or Rad 140, or MK677, or any of these things, GW. They would for sure boost performance. And if they get caught, you watch sales triple for those items. And it becomes, yeah, I want to take what that guy took. Because people want to take what works. And they see this superstar that everyone knows about, and they find out that it works. I mean, people are going to want it. Imagine, like, you know, the current baseball superstars that if they got caught and they got found out that it was a SARM, that SARM, I mean, there's going to be ads on the internet. Failed by this superstar, failed by Sidney Crosby, yes, and everyone will buy it. Anyway, that's it for that video. If you want to have me as a coach, email gregdoucette@hotmail.com. Subscribe to my videos, like the videos if you can. I think it maybe boosts the channel a bit, or I don't know how it works. Anyway, later.